Hi, everyone. My name is Terry Harris. I'm a Director of Indigenous Partnerships and Inclusive Economy at the American Sustainable Business Network. I can't believe it's already been another month since I've given one of these updates, but here's what ASBN is doing in Indian country. First, we would like to invite all Indigenous-led businesses, Native enterprises, and tribal nations to join us on September 18th, 2025 at 2 p.m. Eastern for our Beyond the Bottom Line, Supporting Tribal Small Businesses Through SLAP webinar. Here you can learn more about the transformative power of Silver Lining SLAP program, a 12-month business growth initiative, and how it can help your business grow. Secondly, we're super excited to be underway for our SBAN case study proposal, a case study that will explore the systems, strategies, and cultural foundations that tribal nations are using to address climate change and prevent the displacement of Indigenous small businesses. We have a lot of exciting things happening, but I'll share those at another time. And per usual, stay up to date in our email and through our newsletter. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at tharris@asbnnetwork.org. Thanks. See you next time.
Our Small Business and Local Economy Group meeting this month focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. The good news is that even in spite of the attacks on diversity, equity, inclusion, there's lots of good work going on through ASBC, through our members and our allies. So one important piece is that there's a new opportunity to join a business and investor-focused amicus brief in support of the Chicago Women in Trades case challenging the president's January 21st executive order that requires federal contractors and grantees to certify that they do not have DEI programs. Our brief aims to provide information and perspectives to the court, highlighting that DEI programs are designed to promote equal opportunity, fair employment, and merit-based decisions. So ASBC, along with PolicyLink and Working Ideal, are partnering to push this initiative forward. If you want more information, there'll be a special session on September 9th at 10 Pacific and 1 Eastern with the legal team. That's 10 a.m. Pacific. So please get in touch with us by September 16th if you're interested in learning more or in joining us in this brief. Additionally, we heard from others in the group about the great work that they're taking on. ASBC's work with Indigenous communities was mentioned, including the policy advocacy, the workforce development, and economic development initiatives, including advancing the Memorandum of Understanding with the U.S. Department of Interior for tribal economic development. There was also talk of the Leadership Development Program for Indigenous youth on climate activities and policy, as well as an Indigenous climate resilience research effort in cooperation with SBAN. SBAN then announced that there is a new cohort, including that project, to share stories on community and climate gentrification and resilience. Vermont Business for Social Responsibility shared about their Think Vermont program, as well as their immigration rights training efforts. Purchasing with Purpose discussed their purchasing initiatives, noting an increase in corporate interest in local and diverse business engagement. See New Mexico highlighted the challenges in New Mexico related to federal funding cuts affecting minority and rural communities. And the discussion emphasized the importance of using inclusive language while maintaining a focus on economic development goals. And NC3 talked about their development of an SEC proposal for new community investment fund. So we'll meet again on the last Wednesday of every month. So please join us. Thanks so much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Green, and I am the Senior Advisor on Climate and Energy Policy.
And hi, everyone. I'm Abby Maxwell, and we're going to give you our climate and energy policy update for this month. We are still collecting comments to oppose the repeal of the EPA's critical 2009 scientific finding known as the endangerment finding. We are collecting comments that will directly go to the EPA using our sign-on campaign link. And then in that same link, you'll also find the opportunity to sign on to a public letter that we are coordinating with other groups. This is really important because we want the EPA to directly hear from businesses that we oppose this repeal, but we also think that this might go a little bit further. And so to be in the public and to share our opposition to this, we want everyone's voice to be heard in that collective letter as well. As a reminder on the endangerment finding, this is the 2009 finding out of the EPA that 6 key greenhouse gases endanger human health and welfare. This sets the basis for the EPA to regulate greenhouse gas emissions, and this was following the 2007 Supreme Court case Massachusetts versus EPA. So that court case, along with this finding, make up the scientific and legal basis for clean air regulations out of the EPA. So it's extremely important that we make our voices heard on why these regulations and clean air regulations in general are important to businesses across the US. The EPA has extended the deadline for public comment until September 22nd. And so we encourage all of you, if you haven't already, to sign on using that link. We make it super easy. There's a template in there and you can add in your own stories. So we really, really encourage all of you to do that. And I'll pass it on to Mike for the rest of our update.
Thanks, Abby. So, really excited that we're going to get to see many of you in a couple of weeks in New York City at New York City Climate Week. For those of you who are veterans of Climate Week, you know that it can be a really engaging and really exciting opportunity to meet new businesses, new partner organizations, and hear from some of the global leading experts on what's happening around climate solutions. So we're really looking forward to getting to see some of our members and some of our partners there. If you're going to be headed to Climate Week, definitely reach out to Abby or myself. Just let us know that you're going, what events you're interested in. I think what would be great if maybe in the next policy brief, we could send out a little bit of a calendar of some of the things we're expecting to go to. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, just really looking forward to the opportunity to get to network and be face to face with you all. We spent a lot of time behind these screens, so it's good to be in person when you get that chance. So I'll be coming down from Vermont. Abby will be coming up from DC with Liza, also on our team, who focuses on regenerative agriculture. And looking forward to getting to see folks there.
My name is Liza Lamana, and I'm the Manager of Agriculture and Water Policy at the American Sustainable Business Network. And I'm here to give you your monthly update on our Regenerative Agriculture and Justice Initiative and Clean Water is Good for Business. Firstly, in agriculture, we're continuing to track the Farm Bill. As you've heard me talk about for the past few months, the Farm Bill's prioritization remains unclear amid GOP infighting, administration tensions, and Democratic frustrations over the reconciliation process, which undermined bipartisan norms. The Farm Bill is a huge bill that has many cross-sector interests, and the recent reconciliation bill dramatically shifted the balance of incentives for different party members to come to the table, particularly due to nutrition and SNAP-related cuts. This is likely going to result in either a scaled-down skinny Farm Bill, as GT is calling it, or yet another short-term extension. If you want to learn more about how these incentives have shifted, we talked about it in our recent Farm Bill Policy Forum, which you can find a recording of in your inbox. We had both a steering committee meeting and a policy brief this month, in addition to our Policy Forum webinar. The steering committee noted that despite the incoming Farm Bill expiration date of September 31st, we're still in a holding pattern, waiting for clarity on what's going to happen with the 2025 Farm Bill and waiting to see what a draft from the Republican House looks like before we decide on and advance our advocacy strategy. So if you're interested in being a part of shaping our work, now is a great time for you to get involved with the steering committee. If you're interested in just getting a taste of some of the areas that we think could have potential for movement, please join us for part 2 of our Farm Bill Policy Forum webinar, which is on September 10th. And we'll be diving into some of those titles where we see opportunities for improvement. In this most recent policy forum, we were joined by Kaylin of As You Sow, who shared their findings from their new From the Ground Up Regenerative Agriculture Scorecard, which graded 20 major food companies across 15 performance indicators, providing investors with a standardized way to assess the validity of corporate regenerative agriculture claims. If you're interested in learning more about this report, connecting with Kaylin, or seeing a recording of the policy brief, please reach out to me about joining the call or just seeing the recording. Right now, we need you. Now more than ever, it's critical to illustrate how these policies are affecting supply chains and agriculture businesses across the country. If you or someone in your network or supply chain engage with USDA programs or have felt the impact of recent policy developments, please consider telling your story with our Tell Your Story campaign. In terms of water this month, we had a steering committee meeting. We discussed federal policy developments and several of our state affiliate initiatives that they are working on at the local level. If you remember from last month, we talked about the Permit Act, which is a package of congressional bills that would impact the Clean Water Act that we're actively opposing. We have an open sign-on that is supposed to stay open for signatures through September 5th at the earliest, but we still aren't sure when Congress is going to be voting on this package of legislation. So while September 5th is our soft deadline, if you're seeing this video after the fact, please check our sign-on pages and see if it's still open, because we would love to have your signature, and we're not exactly sure when the letter is going to go to Congress. As a reminder, Section 401 of the Clean Water Act gives states and tribes the ability to review and conditionalize federal permits for projects like roads and pipelines to protect local water quality. Earlier this year, when the EPA asked for input, ASBN and our members submitted comments defending this state authority and local expertise in the permitting process. The EPA is still currently reviewing these comments and determining if a broader public feedback period is necessary. This could result in major changes in how the states and tribes can exercise their jurisdiction over water quality. Please stay tuned, and we'll flag any opportunities to engage with talking points if the EPA opens another comment period. And just a reminder that in addition to our USDA Tell Your Story campaign and all of the other ones across all of our platforms, we have one in water. And please consider sharing your story about why wetland protections and water infrastructure is necessary to your business. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you all online this month. Have a great day.